It is not we who say so because we eat his salt. At that time, a seminar was called of all such scholars who are by their own authority could analyze the achievement of Ramakrishna in spiritual domain. And they were forced to admit unanimously that according to the signs and symptoms and definitions of an avatara, Sri Ramakrishna puts the bill totally. So it is not we who claim to be an avatara. In his lifetime he was proclaimed by a group of scholars who were authentic enough, authoritative enough to declare so. That Sri Ramakrishna, on a very auspicious day, worships his wife, 17 years younger, and people didn't know who she was. And Sri Ramakrishna invokes in her the concept of motherhood of the divine. The world up till now has seen and has lived happily with the concept of fatherhood of the divine, the rewarder and punisher of our good and bad deeds. That is the concept of God, merciful Father and etc. etc. Ultimately, Father is a giver of rewards and giver of punishment. He keeps balance. But the concept of motherhood of the divine is a special feature of India's spiritual wisdom. And that is India's contribution to the whole world. That why conceive of the divine as only the father of the universe? Why not the mother of the universe? And Sri Ramakrishna invoked in Sri Sharda Devi, his spouse, 17 years younger, invokes in him the quality of Tripura Sundari Shodashi, an aspect of the motherhood of the divine, which in short is the sweetest, the softest, the most gracious, ever forgiving, ever forbearing motherhood of the divine. Compare with our own mothers, ever forbearing, ever forgiving, ever generous, softest, sweetest. The concept of motherhood of the divine was concretized in the human form of Sri Sharda Devi, the Holy Mother, whom we worship. And for heaven's sake, don't make the mistake that she sits there on a borrowed shrine just because she happens to be the spouse of a husband. No, she sits there in her own right, because here is the first example in human history. An incarnation starts his work and departs from the scene, and asking that mother of the universe to carry on that mission single-handed for 34 long years, till the world knows who Sri Ramakrishna is, who Sri Sharda Devi is. Now, dears, coming back to the original question, did Swamiji lose his sense of propriety in saying, "Sir, you are the best specimen amongst all the avatars"? Now, going back to the conclusion, avatara never loses his identity. He knows every moment who he is. But his behavior pattern is tailor-made according to the demand of that time society. Look at the demand of today's society. religion which requires to unify human civilization, human societies, they are running at each other's throat, killing in the name of religion. Religion gone astray. And I am better than you. My religion is better than you. Whereas religion is nothing else but a different path reaching the same goal. This has been mentioned in the Vedas, dear. He says, Akashat patati toyam. Rain falls from the skies, every corner of the sky, and in every corner of the earth. And that forms into a river or a rivulet. Either they merge together or they meander through their landmarks. The ultimate goal is the ocean. All religions emanate from requirement of different conditions of different society regionally. Either they merge together, hold each other's hand, or they meander through the whole human society. The ultimate is the follower of that religion reaches the ocean. Now, all these ideas is to be found absolutely concretized in Sri Ramakrishna's and Holy Mother's life. So dear, essentially, there's no difference between an avatar and avatara. They are avatars. But when you analyze the contribution to the society of that time when they were born, you can differentiate and say, oh my, this is magnificent. And that magnificence is being praised by Swami Vivekananda by saying, sir, all that you have contributed to the society, the human society needs, because the human society must be helped to reach its goal. That is, to find peace within oneself by finding the identity which is lost, which has to be rehabilitated by enumerating the teachings of this glorious couple, Sri Ramakrishna, Shadani. So dears, here Swami Vivekananda has been bound down to be truthful to posterity, to us, that he will fail in his duty if he does not place before us what he thought of his matchless master and what his contribution is to the modern world. The rehabilitation of lost values of spirituality, its relevance, its veracity, its credibility. A. All religions lead to the same goal. One person in his one life has gone through all the disciplines and proclaims with the authority of his personal experience, I have experienced and I can tell you, when you reach there, it is the same all over. And finally, rehabilitating the concept of motherhood of the divine by showing to us an example of what that concept of motherhood of divine would be if it is in flesh and blood in the modern day. And as he was half literate, equally little literate was the mother. But that literacy is of no question. Sa chaturi chaturi, sa vidya vidya. That means that knowledge is worthy of pursuing, which will let you know your true original nature. So dears, to be honest to himself and to be truthful to posterity, Swami Vivekananda had to express himself in this manner in a highly controversial way. But we will have to understand what is in between the lines. What was his intention of explaining Sri Ramakrishna and Sharda. So dears, let us then complete this talk by repeating the same mantra once again. Who will sing it for me? Why don't you? Please, any one of you. I will be prosaically reciting. You're going to put it into tune. Any one of you.
Everybody sing this together. Sthapkaye Lakshya Sarv Dharma Swaroopane Varishthaye Ramakrishna.Te namah Sri Bhagavate Ramakrishna.As namo namah. Om namah Sri Bhagavate Ramakrishna.As namo namah. Om namah Sri Bhagavate Ramakrishna.As namo namah.
Very fortunate. Swamiji's explained the philosophy, the characteristics, and the life of Ramakrishna in these two hymns, that Swami Vivekananda has written. I should add that Maharaj has probably the ability to give us these extra added insights because he has also lived with some great souls. One of those souls was Swami Vivekananda, who in our order we consider is very highly developed. He was one of the presidents of the Ramakrishna order. And he also was a disciple of Holy Mother. So tomorrow, Swamiji will give a talk on Holy Mother, Sri Sharda Devi. Who is she? That'll be tomorrow at 7:15. So we invite everybody to come back and participate in that talk. A couple extra notes. One is that this Sunday we have our Krishna Puja. It is the biggest event in the San Diego Center. It was the founding of the San Diego Center. So that will begin at 10:30. We'll have a Krishna Puja, and the puja will actually be done in this room, so that we can accommodate more people and have more people actually see the puja itself. It'll begin at 10:30 and it will go till about 12 o'clock. Swami Sridharananda will conduct the puja. Then in the short program following thereafter, Swami Swahananda and a visiting guest Swami Aniruddhananda, Sanjeev Maharaj, will give a talk. And we will have, following that, a short presentation on Krishna's life in video and talk. Krishna, the darling of Vrindavan. So that will be after the puja and just go roughly for about an hour. So again, that is at 10:30 this Sunday. And prasad is served following the end of the program. Last note is that for those of you who would like to meet Swami Sridharananda, he'll be here tomorrow, and then he'll be leaving the day after tomorrow. Marsh, where will you be going? Houston. Swamiji will be going to Houston thereafter. So if you'd like to meet him, can you please go out through our door here and go into our backyard. Swamiji will go to the backyard, he'll be sitting there, and you can greet him there. And those that don't have a lot of time, you can go directly out the back and get prasad, we have a potluck supper for everybody. You can take it back. Marge. So everybody, can you please sit first and let Swamiji go out first?